Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Chris with the Mortgage Punk Show, and I'm excited today because we are getting our ho on today. It is the season coming around the corner here, and you know what? No one asked me about doing an episode in the spirit of the Christmas holiday and season, other than Traci Terrill, who is with me today. And so I got to give it to her. Props to Traci for coming up with something out of the box. And it's perfect timing for the holidays, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to introduce you to Traci today. She's my guest on the show. If you have not already done so, please like and subscribe. We've got lots of new episodes coming out, all top producers in the industry, where you're going to get insights from what makes them successful and what gets them through the dark times, which I think maybe we're going to talk about a little bit today.
Okay.
With you. So I got Traci Terrill from Keller Williams on the show today. How are you, Traci?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, well, I'm really good. And you, when we walked in to get ready for the episode here, you rolled out the acronym Ninja Loans. And I haven't heard that acronym for a minute, like a hot minute. For those of you watching, if you don't know what that means, it's like a no income, ninja would
So
be no income, no job. No asset.
Yeah.
No income, no job,
Or assets.
no asset.
Yep.
Like you got nothing, but the bank will still lend you money to buy houses. Okay. So back before 2008, which Traci's been in the business for a while, like me, before that crazy incident in 2008, the banks were doing these loans. I know because I wrote them, originated them. And I think, weren't you on the were you ever in loan origination? No, you were not. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I just know about them because at the time, my husband, we found a house that we just absolutely had to have. And while I had some credit in the income, the husband was laid off. And so he had better credit. And so we basically had done a ninja loan because he was laid off at the time. And to get into
was this for a primary residence, right? Not even an investment property. So
Yep.
so people back before 2008 could literally sign a loan application
as long as you had good credit.
Yeah.
And
it was basically like buying a house the same way you buy a car.
Yeah.
Almost.
Interest rates were a little higher for
Yeah.
it, but if it made sense and it was a good deal, then you knew you could always refinance later.
Yeah. And the banks were betting on the value of the asset, which would be the house. And so they were ultimately looking at the house and not the borrower so much.
Right.
Maybe a little bit like Traci's saying with credit, but like I haven't heard that term
But
for
weren't those subprime lending though?
minute.
I mean, that's
It
part of the
was.
subprime lending, right?
Which now this is based on my experience, Traci, and this is my 23rd year in the industry. But what I remember as these subprime loans were rolling out in the beginning of my career is I remember that originally some of these loan products were like the solution for self-employed borrowers who didn't show taxable income, maybe wrote off all their income on paper, and just did not look rich on paper.
Right.
And so I remember bank statement programs coming out, and then that turned into like nothing. Just sign your name,
Right.
say
Well, I
what
think
you
back
make.
then, right? I mean, if you look at it, mortgage companies were giving away loans ultimately because they were hedging on being able to increase the value of properties.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, properties didn't see the appreciation year over year that they had been seeing.
Right.
And you also had a lot of mortgage companies. That's where a lot of your mortgage brokers came into play. Used to be that you went to your bank, right? Wherever
Right.
you banked at, that's where you went and got a mortgage from.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now you had mortgage brokers that kind of
We're
came on the
offering
scene.
those loan products. Yeah.
And able to shop around, out to different investors, you know.
And I don't think I remember any local banks getting involved. I don't know if local banks really dipped their toe into the subprime lending market.
Mm-mm. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it was more
Brokers.
It was more your mortgage brokers.
Which aren't in the industry anymore, really. They're kind of a thing of the past. I mean, that is one good thing that happens during a market correction is it can flush
Well, that and there was a
bad
lot
junk out.
of, legislation that came out
Right.
that helped that, right? I mean, back when it's too big to fail and you had some of your corporations, a lot of your banks that were, seeing a lot of turmoil because of the debt that they had. And then, of course, with the fiasco with Countrywide
Right.
selling to Bank of America going through that,
Hmm.
you know, there had to be some
What a mess.
regulations in place. I mean, look at The Big Short. Every
Hmm.
time I teach a pre-licensed class to realtors,
Yeah.
that's part of the homework, right? Is go watch the
Go
movie The
watch The
Big
Big
Short,
Short.
but then
That's
watch it
awesome.
from the lens of being in the
If you
housing
were
industry.
experiencing that.
Yep.
That's a great point and a great movie. So, what a great way to start a podcast talking about ninja subprime loans from the past. The reason Tracy brought this up is because, believe it or not, there are some new loan products out in my industry that look very, very similar, but it doesn't go quite to the extent. Back then, I remember writing mortgages for. Um, borrowers without employment or job history or anything like that. And it was 100% financing. So you didn't have to have any money down.
Mhm.
So the banks had nothing. It's like you said, they were betting on future appreciation because there was no equity at the start of these loans.
Right. Well, our credit system's changed a lot
Hmm.
since then, right? So before, I mean, the way they evaluated the credit worthiness of a borrower is different than the standards that we go through now, especially like with level loan pricing, not to get into all the
Yeah.
finance
All the
details.
geeky stuff.
But there again, that's where it's important for realtors and real estate professionals. It's never about the house because the houses always sell themselves. It's always about the cost of the money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so really digging in and working with different, lenders and understanding different loan products and understanding overlays, understanding the importance of who's the investor, who are they selling the note to, because that person's going to have certain criteria
Right.
just to ensure that your loans close on time and
Hmm.
you don't have a homeless, you know,
Family.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
and a
100%.
seller, and you got a chain of closings that can't take place
And
because,
everybody's homeless. Yeah. Not good.
yeah, never good.
Financing is the key to
It is.
unlock home ownership. There's
Cash is
no doubt
actually
about
the
it.
key.
Cash is king. Just there's not that many people that have it. But anyhow, I'm glad you brought that up because that's a fun subject to talk about because that's my world and that I geek out on a regular basis. But no, with those similar loan products today, you actually have to have equity. You'd have 10%,
Mhm.
20%, 25, 30% down.
Yep.
So there's a little bit of a change in the guidelines to those products nowadays. But anyhow, what were you doing during the 2008 crash?
Well, I didn't get licensed until later than that, but that was kind of the first where we first started investing. So I was an investor first.
Okay,
And so investing in real estate.
you bought before
Mhm.
or you bought in the aftermath, and
Oh, capitalized on the
you
aftermath.
capitalized on the aftermath.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But the main thing is at the time, our family was flipping houses. My dad was a distributor in town and got into flipping houses and then being caught with some very expensive properties when the market crashed in 2008. And so, um,
Like higher end homes that would
mhm,
not sell
yeah,
super fast to a
yep.
starter buy. I mean, probably the whole market
And
slowed down. Period.
yep. And
Back
the
then.
interest only loans and carrying those
Shoot.
until we could get them sold. And that was kind of the
Is that
start
what he
of
had
it.
to do? Is liquidate? He just had to liquidate it, or did he just like turn and hold?
Well, back then, yeah. I mean, we ended up, I know one of them at the time, because my parents had gone through a house bill. So my husband and I had to jump in and help my parents. And during that time period, we had a house over in Central Park in Bel Air, and beautiful house that we had flipped. And it was on the market, and it was on the market for a year.
Um, After
And
2008,
yeah,
after
this was like 2009,
golly,
2010. And I always looked back and the whole time that's why I became a real estate agent is I felt like the advice that my parents were given that they were making decisions off of were by real estate agents who were just door openers
hmm,
and didn't know anything about
investing in real
investing,
estate,
didn't know anything about the aftermath, right? It was,
right?
hey, I'm going to go ahead and cash this check, put a sign in the yard, pick up some buyers, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
you know, okay, well, now the aftermath comes. And okay, give me some feedback. How come this house isn't selling? I need to know, like, this house has been on the market and, all these things are happening and I'm not getting any information from the
That's what lit
agent.
the fire for you to become a realtor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is seeing,
Was in a painful situation, is what it sounds like to
right.
me.
And all of a sudden, when you start asking questions and then it's like, well, did you not take this into consideration? I want to see the market numbers. Show me the market numbers. And someone who has a business and finance background, I'm going, this doesn't make sense. Like, we shouldn't have been in this situation to begin with. And going back in and looking at that, going, okay, how do we mitigate risk going forward? Well, I'm
Right.
going to get my license so I can have access to the information.
Wow.
And so that's why I became a
I did not know
realtor.
that.
Yeah.
And I've known you for a minute,
Yeah.
and I did not know that. I got to take just a second here, Traci. I want to do a shout out to Daniel Keeley from Keeley Roofing. He's one of the sponsors of the Mortgage Punk Show. So listen, if Kansas weather has taught us anything, it's that your roof matters. And Daniel Keeley with Keeley Roofing is someone I trust personally. So if you got storm damage, or whether or not you need your home inspected, or a full roof replacement, Daniel's going to be super honest, and just do a fantastic job. Zero pressure with him. They'll tell you what you need. They won't try to upsell you on what you don't need. So if your roof is taking a beating, get it checked out by someone who actually has your back. Give not just Daniel. Actually, call Hunter. Hunter is one of Daniel's guys that I know really well,
Okay.
and he will take care of you. Just call Keeley Roofing in Wichita, Kansas. Ask for Hunter. They'll connect you. He'll get out there and take a look at your roof and get you down the road. So, but Daniel, thanks for sponsoring the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
So anyhow, so that I had no clue that that's what triggered your whole pursuit in real estate. So it was your parents that were flipping houses and you got involved with it, or you
Correct.
and your husband were also doing your own
No,
thing? kind of
actually, during
alongside
that
him?
time period, it was really just my parents. And when my dad had a stroke, and we had to be able to jump in and help them kind of
Manage it.
manage that, help him, with his business. And it was like we would, we had always wanted to do it, but it was always the fear, right? It, Before that, when I bought my first house, building a new house, $88,000, that was a lot of money to spend.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it was back then.
And that
And
was new.
brand new,
New.
$88,000.
Traci.
$88,000.
That's crazy.
That was real affordable housing. What we call affordable housing
Wow.
now is just a joke, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But
That's wild.
yeah. And I remember, it's like, well, we bought a lot, and it's kind of one of those. It's like, well, what if we found something that just needed a little bit of work and we could go in and do it ourselves? And so I bought my first house at 21, and the husband and I went in, redid the house, and lived in it for 5 years, made a bunch of money, did the same thing a second with our second house.
Yeah.
So we had already been doing it.
House hacking.
Yeah.
You're house hacking.
House hacking our way. And then our third house, we were like, I'm not going to live through a remodel. We're going to build a house. Well, then, on a build, you end up doing more work as if you were flipping
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had always worked on our houses. We'd always done different, remodeling jobs and this and that, and helping mom and dad out. And all of a sudden, then it became an opportunity to let's do it ourselves. And then at that point, the market crashed.
So you kind of got to learn through a painful situation that really wasn't 100% on your shoulders. It was part of your dad's.
Memorial Day weekend of 2010. And I'll never forget that. It's like, I should be at the lake right now, but instead we're over here working on this house because we got to get it on the market. We have to get out from underneath the payment,
Wow.
salvage the cash, and we got to try to get out of it.
Do you think if you went back in time, would you wish that never happened? Or are you glad, in a sense, like not in a good way, but like in a, hey, this was painful, but if it didn't happen, like I wouldn't be here?
Well, you make your greatest strides when you're faced with adversity.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
And the adversity that happened in April of 2010 was life-changing. That's when the stroke happened. And going through and realizing that, oh my gosh, we can do this. We became super hyper focused about paying off all of our debt, trying to figure out how we could live on one income. Because at this time, when everything is turning upside down, and okay, what if my dad can't go back to work? Let's sell our new build. Let's move in with mom and dad. They got a bigger house. We're raising 2 kids. all of a sudden there became clarity around
Right.
everything, right?
That's so wild how bad situations
Mhm. Yeah,
do that.
but here's the beautiful thing out of it is when we did realize it, and it's like, you know what? Look, if mom and dad are going to continue to do this, and then let me get licensed. I hated my job. I hated where I worked, and here's an opportunity to do something. All of a sudden, we were flipping a house. It was a house on Walnut. Had my first open house and picked up 3 different buyers and went, "Oh, shit, I have a business now." Like, okay, I wasn't quite planning on that. And now I'm switching my hours to where I can, do inspections in the afternoons.
Wow.
And it just started like that. And
That's
then
so
eventually
crazy.
the husband said, "You are meant to do this."
That's
You
awesome.
cut the, I made him read Think and Grow Rich. And he said, "No, like, just like in chapter 2, like, burn the boats,
Yeah.
burn the boats. Don't look
Wow.
back." And that was the hardest decision I've ever made in my life.
Okay, so that is crazy. I did not know that aspect of your story.
That's the
Throughout
backstory.
all the times that we've connected and met up, I've never heard
Yeah.
those details. So let's go backwards then. So, what happened before 2008? Helping your dad, right? You and your husband were kind of house hacking,
Mhm.
buying a house, fixing it up, remodeling it, whatnot, and then selling it, and doing it again. What happened in those years? What were you doing? And take us back sort of to the beginning of your story, I guess.
Yeah. So back then, we had 2 children really young and
From Wichita?
yep,
Both of you?
yep.
Okay.
We're both from Wichita.
Okay.
Actually, we went to middle school together, but didn't know each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
What school?
Truesdale.
Oh, Tuesday.
So
Okay.
yeah, we went to Truesdale Middle School, and then my parents moved up north and ended up being underneath the North High umbrella.
Okay. So
So
did you graduate from North?
actually, I did not graduate at all.
Really?
No, I was a high
Learning
school dropout. Yeah.
all kinds of new
I
facts
was
about
a
you.
high school dropout because back then they didn't have probably a education plan for somebody who thought she knew everything. It's probably a little on the ADHD side, and
We talked about this.
I was making money
Yeah.
and I had a good job and I was a hustler and said, "Look, here's the thing. I'm going to go to college and I
I
don't have
love
to
it.
have a high school diploma to do that. Let me go get my GED." And
The richest man that I kind of sort of know personally was very similar story.
yeah, so it wasn't
Some of the
just
most wealthy people
yeah, so it wasn't a case of just dropping out. It's like,
have.
well, this doesn't make sense. Why am I going to go learn these things? Let me just go ahead and get the GED. Of
Right.
course, passed it the first time around. Didn't even have to take the
Right.
classes.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't that
then,
you weren't capable.
yeah, and then
You were
started.
probably bored and
Yep, had my first baby at 19. And that day I said, well, here's the thing. How can I ever tell her to go to college? And started. She was born in January and started school in January and graduated with my undergrad 10
so
years
you
later.
started you had a little one early,
Mhm.
right out of the gate.
Yep. Yep.
What were
I
you
had just
doing?
turned
You said you were
19.
hustling, you were already working, already making money. What were you doing?
So back then, worked at Quick Trip and worked in the flower shop.
Okay. And the flower shop?
Yep.
Is that a
Worked at
family
Tilly's.
business or no?
Yeah. So kind of grew up around florists and got the skill set. Worked at Tilly's and then went over and worked at Dillon's because all your good florists
Mhm.
worked at Dillon's because they
Right.
had benefits.
Okay.
And worked at Dillon's and then said, well, I'm going to go to college now that I have Alexis, and then had Aaron. I just turned 21 when Aaron was born. No, I had just turned, yeah, I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks after I turned 21 with
Were you
Aaron.
married at this point, or were you guys just
No,
together?
we were just together. We
Okay.
weren't married yet because, I wasn't going to marry somebody because I had kids.
Right.
I was a progressive, woman.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
so we had
how
the
long did it
kids,
take
owned the
from having
house.
kids to then eventually deciding, you know what,
Our son
we'll
was
be
a
together
year and a
forever?
half.
Okay.
I think he was a
So
year and a half old.
wasn't too long
Yeah.
after.
But we'd already bought the house. So we had the kids, had the house, had the dog, and kind of did things
And where
backwards.
did he work at the time?
At the time, he worked at Boeing.
Okay.
So Boeing.
Similar, you guys similar or very different? Like, are you opposites attract, or are you maybe in the middle somewhere?
We are definitely the oil and water relationship.
You are okay, but that can work really well.
And actually, it's not oil and water, right? You ever read the book Rocket Fuel?
I have. It's
Okay.
one of my favorite books.
There you go. That explains it. That's our dynamic.
That's fantastic.
So I'm
Can't do one without the other.
You can't. I'm going to be more of the innovator out
The visionary.
there. Yep.
He's the integrator.
Yep.
So he's the operations,
Yep.
the ops
Very, very
mentality.
I'm a very high D. He's a very SC.
A blue, super high. Yeah.
Oh, he is very. It's going to be done right.
Engineer.
Yep. It's going to be done right. It's
Analytical.
just not going to be fast.
I love it. If you guys are listening out there, if you've never taken a look at the DISC test, that's what Traci's kind of pointing at. We use that to hire throughout our hiring process with my team and my bank. I think it's super important because I think people are wired differently, and everybody's got a superpower. They just need to, get into the right seat.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely,
and use it. So I love this. I love how your story's unfolding because it's got a lot of, it's just not a picture perfect, in a nice little square frame.
Is anything ever picture perfect?
I don't know. Probably not. You're probably right. I don't know. How there's I feel like there's two roads to maybe entrepreneurship. I feel like there's your Harvard MBAs that get teed up and they end up becoming investment bankers or whatever on Wall Street and they go down the right road. But I think there's probably just as many, if not more, that are the total opposite. Like what you're saying. Didn't finish school or didn't even go to college. I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
I've got kids in college and I didn't go.
Yeah.
But unlike you,
I went to college, but it took me 10
years,
10 years to get my undergrad.
You did. So you went and got your GED.
Yep.
And then went ahead and went to college.
Yeah, I started college right after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you get a degree in?
So I have a business degree from Wichita State.
You do? Okay. Yep. Is there an emphasis?
Yeah, at the time it was marketing.
Okay. That's what my daughter is doing right now in college.
Yeah. Wanted to be more of the finance track. I mean, numbers.
Yeah.
Kind of switched, was going to do decision sciences, but then I'm like, well, how do you find a job in decision sciences? And then all of a sudden, Six Sigma and lean management came out, and it was like, oh, that would have been perfect. Damn,
That is so cool. I love Rocket Fuel. If you've not read the book Rocket Fuel, read Rocket Fuel.
It is a good one.
Real quick, I got to jump to another sponsor here real quick, Traci, and give a big shout out to Jason Hancock with Pillar to Post. When it comes to home inspections, details matter, and Jason Hancock at Pillar to Post does not miss them. He would be probably a very high C. You would want a high C to be your home inspector. Trust me. So Jason's inspections are thorough, easy to understand, and designed to protect buyers and sellers. So whether you're buying your first home or your 10th home, Pillar to Post helps you move forward with confidence. So if you need inspection, holler at Jason Hancock with Pillar to Post. Tell him Chris from the Mortgage Punk Show sent you. Thank you, Jason, for your support on the show, and you do a fantastic job. Let me know if you're a high C on the disc report, buddy. So, anyhow. So I love it. So you were working at Tilly's Flowers, QT, you had children, and going to college.
Yeah. So predominantly Dillon's during that time period.
Kind of at the same time.
Yeah. I worked at Dillon's more so and was, at Dillon's.
So what year was that? Or years?
That was 90. That was in the 90s.
Okay.
And then went to go work at Textron, which back then it was Cessna.
Once you got your degree?
Actually, no. Since I was didn't want to have any student loan debt because I already had 2 kids and a mortgage. And it became a case of, look, if you're going to do this, then let's go someplace that's going to pay for the education. And that's why I went to Cessna, because at the time they would pay for you to go to school.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, well, let me go get a job, in tool crib. And
what did you do?
I passed out tools and checked in parts.
Is that right?
And then did that for 6 months and then went to product support at Cessna. So aftermarket, basically. Yeah. And then worked up from there in 2000 and left in October of 2010.
No joke. Yeah. So you were at Textron when your dad was flipping homes. So that whole
during that time
crossroad moment in your life from real estate out of the aerospace
and it became
industry.
A case that we were making really good money. My husband at the time, because he had left Boeing and went to Bombardier and was he worked at Bombardier, I worked at Cessna. We both worked on the service side, aftermarket support. Really
Right.
didn't work in production, but on the service side of things afterwards.
Hmm.
And we had good money. We always tried to live off of one income because we never knew if our family was who was gonna get
Right.
laid off or who was gonna go on strike or,
Right. Yeah.
like
You're like a
most.
volatile both of you are in the
Yes.
aircraft
Yeah.
industry,
And I never
which,
wanted to be an aircraft, but all of a sudden I found myself moving up because I had the grit. I
yeah.
mean, nose down, ass up, let's get things done. And moved up and well, then you now you've got a good paying job, but you hate what you do. That's not really a life,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And um
And the only motivation was school.
yeah,
That's the only
at the
reason you were
time,
there
the only
is to
reason
get
why I went
college
there.
paid for.
Only reason why I went there. Yep.
What's one of the biggest things that you learned while you were there that would make you say, you know what, much as that really sucked and I didn't care for that kind of work, I'm really glad I went, or I'm really glad I was there because I picked up this and this and it
Oh,
changed me or it made me
there's one lesson.
okay.
The absolute one lesson. And if anyone's ever been in any of my classes that I teach, real estate classes or continuing education classes, we mask our inefficiencies with our resources. Cessna was notorious
Oh, is
for
it
that.
Cessna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now it's
Texture on bottom,
Textron.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So they were notorious for
Masking their inefficiencies with their resources, right? So if you look at it over the years, you would end up having, your budget would be set or the things that you would do in your business and with their business would be set. Well, all of a sudden, if they
you don't
had a
hit your target.
huge backlog of airplanes, when they knew the money was coming in, well, we would find ourselves being more inefficient. Well, all of a sudden, when the backlog
Dried up.
dried up, right, which has happened during the 2008 time period where a lot of things changed.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just lending on houses, but it was
Right.
also
It changed the whole
lending,
banking system
right?
and
People
credit.
finance corporate jets,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so when all of that happened, and now all of a sudden, at the time when I was at Cessna, I went into some lean management roles and the like Six Sigma, green belt program, then black belt program. And as we learned how to lean things out, it's like, why aren't we lean with the resources when the resources are good? Why does it take that? Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut back,
Pain. A bad, yeah.
right? And that's what we're finding. And like right now is there's a lot of things that we do. And if you've got a lot of money in your bank, and this is what happens and what I see with real estate agents, this is why they're feeling the pain right now. They're feeling the pain right now is because they're paying for things. They're doing things
Yeah.
because the market was good when you were shooting fish out of a barrel. But guess what? Now it's getting tight and you've got to
You
become
gotta go
more
fishing.
efficient. Yeah. You have to
You
become
actually have
more
to go.
efficient
Yeah.
with your resources, right? So
Why not do
just
it all the time?
why not be like that all the time? Right. It's
Hmm.
the same thing I find with the city of housing or the city of Wichita housing. It's like, guys, you got to get more efficient with what you have
Right.
because eventually we're all going to have to cut back. And when
Right.
we have to cut back, we're going to mask our inefficiencies because we have enough money in the bank. We don't have to be lean. We don't
Mhm.
have to watch how much money that we're spending because there's always enough.
Right.
But when there's not enough, you mask your inefficiencies with your resources.
That's a great lesson to be teaching realtors. I'm glad that you are involved with continuing ed here
Mhm.
because I know what that's like. Loan officers are commission people.
Mhm.
We're very much the same as you.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
remember earlier on in my career, I would ride the waves up and down, and when it's good, you just think it'll never end,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
And it does.
And it
Because the
does.
market cycles and there are ups and downs. Just look at a stock chart. It will tell you.
Yeah.
There's
And there again, but you have to know the numbers,
yeah.
right?
So that was
Numbers
the
are
biggest
important.
lesson you learned while you were
That
at
was
Cessna
probably one of the biggest
because
lessons.
you watched it. You
I watched
watched
it.
the company do it with
Mhm.
their resources.
Yeah. I watched VPs going to dinner meetings and spending a lot of money. And of course, the low manager on the totem pole is the one that picks up the tab, right?
Right.
And then you're going, well, here's the thing. We don't have enough resources to support our team, but I don't see any customers here. Why are we spending this money?
Mm.
Because now I have to sign off on it, but yet we're going to be tasked with laying people off.
Yeah.
What if we just all went to an Applebee's instead of going to this restaurant and having
Some high
this,
end luxury experience.
decisions are easy when your values are clear, and there just wasn't an alignment there.
What do you think about this? So we are probably going to be the only two people on the Mortgage Punk show with Christmas gear on here, Santa Claus gear.
It's the most wonderful time
Tracy's
of the
crushing it.
year.
Like she's makes me look, but my brand is red, so I don't really have to change much. I'm already red all year long. But you know what? Since we are going into the holiday season, in the spirit of giving, um, don't you think? I really feel like if you are gifted in such a way to earn a lot of money and have a lot of resources, I think that voluntarily, I think you should that should be so that you can be more generous. I think if you make more, you should give more, right? I think you should save,
Mhm.
right? And be
Yep.
smart and give and give. I mean, it's a season of giving, so
When we talk about giving, it's not always giving monetarily,
mhm.
right? It could be giving
Time,
your time, your talents. It
mhm.
could be your insights.
Right?
It could be, we all have our own gifts.
Hmm.
See, the problem is, and I'm very fortunate that it finally clicked, right? Sometimes you got to tell me multiple times before it clicks. We have to stop focusing on what we're not good at and focus on what we are good at and get better at those
Yeah,
things. And whenever you do find your gift and passion, well, then now how can you use that to show other people a way?
right.
And so maybe your give back
Yeah,
is just teaching someone a talent that you have,
right.
right? It could be giving back, like with us. I mean, we do a lot of giving on different things, but we do giving. Giving needs to be done in private.
Hmm.
Giving doesn't need to be done in, "Hey, I'm gonna show up. Hey, look
Yeah,
what I
flashy.
did,"
Yeah,
right?
you don't need a pat on the back.
Right.
It's
If
just
you're doing it for those reasons,
it's the
then
wrong reason.
it's the wrong
you
reason,
you kind of
right?
like shoot yourself in the foot.
But it is also okay to feel good about giving.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think everyone does.
yeah,
I think
and
everyone feels
I
a lot
love
better to
being
give.
Mrs. Claus. So if I can make a child happy and feel good about themselves and bring a little bit of Christmas cheer and make someone smile, then so be it.
So you asked me, you gave me a challenge yesterday. I called you before the show. I said, Tracy, you ready to roll? This is what we're going to do. And you threw a challenge out to me. Tracy's challenge to me was to find a Christmas movie and talk about like like a beauty from ashes type of situation, which is we're talking a little bit about that just with Tracy and hearing her story. I mean, just the way you got into real estate came through a painful situation. What you learned working at Cessna was not probably not fun and to watch, I'm sure.
Mm.
um, but I thought of a movie and it goes right along this theme, and it would be The Christmas Carol.
Okay.
So, and if you haven't watched The Christmas Carol, maybe you've watched The Grinch, which is kind of another, spin off into that direction. But we watched it the other night as a family, and I just got to thinking on my way here, oh, this is a perfect movie, a classic movie
Yeah.
of someone who really didn't want to help or give his time and his talents, to
Mhm.
anyone, but learned the hard lesson, I think,
Yep.
by the end of the movie. So, what are your thoughts on that? How can we encourage people watching this show before the Christmas break to stop, think about what you've made this year, think about what kind of time, like Tracy's saying,
Mhm.
may not be monetarily, maybe it's time or talents. What can you do to stop and help someone else, help a family in need, or help a charitable organization?
Yeah.
You know,
There's all different ways, right? And here's the cool thing too is guess what, realtors, right? We have to talk to people. That's what we do. And so try to figure out like if there's anything that you're passionate about, right? Go figure out where the people are that are doing that. If you are passionate about animals,
hmm
I mean, look at all of our real estate agents that work with Wall or they work with, the Humane Society.
yeah,
If it's children, I mean, Envision
plenty
needs
of,
people to read books
yeah,
and so they can record your voice. There's all different if you're good at working on houses, there's lots of, organizations that you can go and donate your time and your
yep,
talents to.
yep,
If you're good at there's Meals on Wheels Senior Center.
hmm
anytime that we do those types of things, then go out and wear your gear and have conversations with people,
Yeah.
while you're doing it. Plus, then you'll find a tribe. You're going to find other people that have the same generous heart that you have. And
Right.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Giving
like you
is,
said, it's, you don't have to tell everyone in the world about what you're doing,
yeah.
but
And you don't have
it's,
to go dressing like Mrs. Claus,
yeah,
but it started as a client event. And when I put it on and I had these little girls go, never seen Mrs. Claus before. And I'm like, you know what? I hadn't either.
that's awesome. Touches someone else's life,
Yeah,
and it's about other people.
it really is. I mean,
So
love people, take care of people, the money will come.
yeah, yeah, I believe that. That's my mentality. I feel like, if you make a lot of money, I mean, everybody's different about how they spend, but
Yeah.
I think
And if you're good at
generosity should be a
numbers,
big
there's a lot
piece.
of nonprofits that need help with their books. They need advice. They need grant,
Right.
writing or reviewing grants. Or right now, I can tell you if real estate agents, we deal with everyone's housing situations. I know January 29th of this year is the point in time count
Hmm.
with the United Way. I know they're still looking for volunteers. And boy, let me
Right.
tell you, if you want to get Chris, I'm telling you, you spend 4 hours going out and counting people that are living on the street,
Mm,
actually walking out to their encampments and counting them.
yeah.
It
It's sad.
it'll change your life in four
Yeah.
hours. I can
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah.
So definitely talk to Cole over at United Way. They
Yeah.
are looking for volunteers for the point in time count.
Are they? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. So yeah, we would both encourage you big time. Look for a charity or a church that you're a part of, or
Hmm.
some outlet to be generous
Yeah.
this year, before the end of the year, and
Yeah. Even if it's a client, you might have a client that is
needs
just
help.
needs a little help.
Yeah,
Surprise them.
those are my favorite. I like to help. I don't know about you, but
Oh,
I like when I know someone and like they literally just can't buy school books,
mhm,
and I'm like, well, can buy you school books. That's easy.
right.
you know? Well, we talk about money a lot on this podcast. We talk about success. We talk
Hmm.
about business, and we talk about running a profit and loss statements. And at the end of the day, I'm glad that this topic is coming up because it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It's right in time for the holiday, and it's in the spirit of the season. And I'm just somebody who believes that we're given a lot to give it back.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
not just
100%.
spend it on,
Yeah.
like you said, useless. To a degree, you can enjoy your spoils, but you know what? But have a generous heart. Don't be like Scrooge on the Christmas Carol. So anyhow, well, I love how your story builds, Tracy. And I love how you got into real estate because it's so unplanned. Like, do you ever think about that? Do you ever think like I couldn't have planned this out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just happened through circumstance.
It really, it really did. But it also, like I said, I liked working on houses. I still like working on houses.
Yeah, you'd be doing it. You'd be messing with real estate, whether you're a licensed realtor or not.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you guys get the chance to clean up your dad's portfolio? Did you get that all straightened out and did that all work
uh-huh.
out in the end?
Yep. Yep. So we did. We were able to get that, squared away, and they were really successful afterwards. And
Oh, and they kept going.
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Because now they had a family realtor.
So one thing I want to point out about you, Tracy, and I've talked about this with a couple other agents that have been on the show. A lot of people don't realize this, but most realtors and real estate agents in the industry, I think, are more retail realtors, meaning that they work primarily with home buyers.
Hmm.
But there is a small niche. Like I put you in a special class of maybe 5%. I don't know. You tell me if you think I'm spot on, but maybe 5% of realtors own lots of rental properties, flip homes themselves, work with lots of investor clients. I would say they have an investment niche and their expertise is heavily in that
Yeah.
arena.
You know,
And you fit that.
yes, but here's the thing. That's sad.
Yeah, tell me a little bit
I
more
mean,
about
do you
that.
not?
What are you thinking?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we're out there, we're educating folks on why they need to buy real estate, right?
Right.
So why don't more realtors
Buy more real estate.
buy real estate?
Yeah. Good question. Do you think that? I don't know. That's a really good question. I've never had anyone bring that up, so I'm
Well, I mean,
stumped.
but think about it. So if you're going to be meeting, so let's say you're my buyer,
Right.
and look, Chris,
And
here's the
I'm the
thing.
expert,
Yeah.
or you're the expert.
Yeah, and it's like, so Chris, yeah, you really need to buy because like right now, why are you going to pay me rent? Why don't you start doing a forced savings account with yourself and purchase a house? And if a house is such a good deal,
Right.
Chris, how come I don't own a house?
Yeah.
Right? Or how come if it's such a good deal, then how come I don't own two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Or how come I don't own three of them?
Yeah.
And no, by the
That's a
way,
good
Chris,
point.
like how come I don't know how to put tile in? I don't know how plumbing works. I don't know how drain systems work.
Maybe you're throwing a challenge on the table for all the realtors watching the show.
Right? Understand how
Go get an investment property, even if
well,
it's just one.
but if you work at T-Mobile or if you work at Verizon, don't you need to know everything about the phones that you're selling?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you know everything about the properties that you're selling?
Yeah. I do think that the realtors that I know that own investment properties definitely have a significant advantage
Mhm,
because they have experience and the weight of ownership on their shoulders
mhm.
of dealing with houses,
Yeah.
managing
And
them, dealing with them, dealing with problems, dealing with
right.
fixes, repairs, you name it.
Okay, but then let's take it a step further, right? But is it the real estate agent's fault or is it our brokerage's fault
For not
for not
educating them out in that direction, maybe.
maybe? I mean, and that's kind of where
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good point. I like it. Good challenge. All right, brokers watching. Challenge
well, let's
accepted,
all
right?
well, I think right now, right, we have a lot of inefficiencies in our market when it comes to real estate and realtors. And so let's help our realtors become more efficient. And part of that efficiency is going to come from them being educated.
Right.
And the more they're educated, now they're going to be able to help people make better decisions
It's empowerment.
because it is. And it's empowerment to our buyers and sellers and to our clients and people that trust us.
Right.
And so let's all level up in 2026, right? Let's all
Love it.
raise the standard.
I like it. I hope that those of you who are watching take that as a challenge and push your generosity and push your limits in terms of educating yourself more on real estate and owning it. Got to take a minute to thank another sponsor for the show, Tracy, Michael Gom of Glass Gurus
Mhm.
of Wichita. You know him from the aircraft
Yes, he
business.
did work at Cessna back in the day.
Yeah. So he is a process driven guy. But listen, if you got windows, doors, glass, you name it on your house, Michael Gom and his family owned business, the Glass Guru of Wichita, is the real deal. Broken seals, foggy windows, energy loss. These are problems that quietly cost homeowners money every month. Glass Guru fixes it right away and helps your home look better and perform better. So if you want sharp lines, clean installs, and pros who will actually show up, Glass Guru delivers. They can even fix the glass in your window pane without having to replace the whole thing. So that might cost you $100 instead of $1,000 or whatever, or $500. So anyhow, Michael, appreciate your sponsorship and for backing the show. We'll send everyone your way. Just let Michael know that Chris from the Mortgage Punk Show sent you. And thanks again, Michael.
Yeah.
So your real estate career takes off in the situation with your father. And what year was that? That was right after you said 2010 or 2008, right in 2008.
Well, that was so the stroke. Yeah, it was 2010.
Okay. So
It was
just a little bit
2010.
after the
So,
crash.
but we remember we're in the Midwest, so we didn't quite feel the
Right.
crash
It takes a minute
as
to
fast
hit us.
as
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
did, right?
Mm-hmm. And
And
not as bad
yeah, and not as
here.
bad, but it was still
Still
bad
bad.
enough when you have
Yeah.
two properties over 200,000 that are sitting on the market and you need to get them sold.
Right.
So
Right. So really your real estate career then got ramped up in about 2010.
actually, no, because 2010 we weren't that's when we kind of started jumping in because we were making a lot of money. We wanted to buy our first investment property. So we closed on our first
Okay.
investment property in October of 2010.
Okay.
So we started to invest, and then about 2000, I got licensed. I took the class and then got licensed in 2012.
Got
So
it.
it still took a couple of years because it was, but you have to understand back then, I mean, houses were, I mean, some of our houses we bought for 20,000.
Yeah. That's
I
crazy. Out of
mean,
foreclosure?
oh yeah, they
Yeah.
were, that's what the market was. It was
Right.
all foreclosures.
Right.
So then when I first got licensed, I'm like, I'm going to go work foreclosures, and didn't realize it was a hard market when I started.
So you've really been 13 years in production, full blown production. It's kind of got
Yes.
ramped up in
Kind of around
12.
there. Yeah.
So, and now when you
Well, yeah. it's Licensed in 12, but I didn't go full time until, as a full time agent until no, it was, I don't know.
but you said it was the hardest decision you ever made, right?
Yes, to
That's
give
the
up a
hardest.
full
Yeah,
time.
to walk away from Cessna,
Yeah.
an
Well,
aircraft
at that
career.
point, yeah, it was, I had moved to BE Aerospace and was with another aerospace industry or another aerospace company. And at that point, to walk away and at this time period, I mean, it was hard for people to find jobs in aircraft. And here I've got a really good job, and now I'm going to
And you're going
quit
to leave
my
it
job.
voluntarily.
Yeah, to go sling houses. I'm like,
But you said burn the ships.
actually, my husband reminded me of that.
He did. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what motivated you
Yes,
to be
because
like, I'm
they
either going to
said,
do this or I'm not going to do it.
yeah,
All in or all out.
right, coming, and this was at the end of 2012 because, New Year's resolution, I wasn't going to go back after Christmas break. So 2013 was going to be my year,
Wow.
first year full time, going to go all in. And the company I was working for said, well, here's the thing. What if you just work part time? Like, what if you just come in the morning and you just work like part time and then you can do your real estate afterwards? Because they didn't want me to leave at the time. And I was like, oh, well, this is good because what if I don't make it? What if I don't make it as a real estate agent, right? What if
Right.
it's always about risk management. Whenever you're driven by fear, how do you get rid of the fear? You make unknowns known. See, people aren't afraid of dying. People are afraid of what happens after death,
Right.
right? And so if you're scared of anything, then go research, do whatever you can to make that fear of the unknown
Known.
known. And that's what risk mitigation is.
Mm-hmm.
So then it became a case of, well, ooh, this is a risk mitigation strategy because if I don't make it selling houses, well, then I can just go work full time then, right? And then I still have my seniority. I still have the pay coming in.
Okay.
My
So that
husband's
gave
like,
you somewhat of a security blanket.
right, but my
sorta.
husband said no because that's going to turn into you going to lunch with people at lunch, and then that's going to turn over to where you've got to take care
He
of
felt
this
like it would be
issue.
too comfortable. It would make you
Yeah,
slack off.
where not that, but he knew it would interfere with the passion of what I wanted to do. I wanted to own
It'd
my
be a
own
distraction.
business. Yes.
More of a distraction.
Yeah. And, my parents were entrepreneurs. My grandparents were entrepreneurs. My aunts and uncles were entrepreneurs. So I knew I was always going to run my own business someday.
Yeah.
That was never not the plan.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah, because you got your degree in business.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
obviously you had
And
an idea of what you knew you wanted to do.
And I was a transitional agent. And that's something else that we don't talk about a lot, right? We have a lot of agents, a lot of realtors and professionals that are amazing at their regular career, and they have this other side career or this side hustle, which is real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can tell you of some amazing agents that one of my good friends, he was a counselor, for ever with USD 259. His husband was a principal, and
We talking about Antoine here?
absolutely, yeah,
You got to help me get him on this show,
Oh yeah.
Tracy. I'm going to send him
You
a
know what?
message
Here's the thing.
real soon.
Yeah, make it value added to him, and he'll be here, right? You just got to figure out what his value
I
add
love
is.
those guys.
But here's the thing, right? You have a lot of dual career agents that are phenomenal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you know why they're phenomenal? What makes them phenomenal is their time management skills.
Mm.
right?
Good point.
So are you coming in and you treating your business as a business? Or are you coming
Yeah.
in and treating your business as an opportunity to go talk, at the water cooler?
Right. So I was going to ask you, when you made the decision, when your husband was like, "Hey, burn the ships, Tracy,"
Go
and
all
you're
in.
like, "Okay, 2013, January 1."
Yep.
Did you see real estate? Like, did you connect the dots that real estate is a self-employed business? Like, you are a business owner. Did you put that together, or did it
That's
take a minute?
when I realized that, which was right before. That was the main reason why I knew I had to quit
Because you
the other
saw it as an
job.
opportunity to
Because
start a business.
all of a sudden, yeah, I realized very quickly, like the first open house, and all of a sudden I've picked up a couple of buyers, and now I've got this going. I'm like, wow, I really do have a business. This is a business, and I need to start treating it as a business.
Before you ever even
Uh-huh.
went all out.
Yeah. And that was like, wow, okay, I got to get this figured out. And I picked up a book I was a big reader and picked up the, not to put Keller Williams plug out there, but
Yeah,
the MREA book.
yeah.
And I picked that up and here I am trying to come up with my own business plan and my own thing. And I read this book and go, well, shit, why
Here's
don't
the
I just do
McDonald's
that?
manual
Right?
right here.
Yeah. I mean, standard operating procedure, right? We had a cookbook. We called them cookbooks. We had a
Yeah,
cookbook, a standard operating procedure
yeah.
for everything we did at Cessna, for everything we did at BE,
Sure.
everything we did at Dillon's,
Mhm,
right? And I'm like, here it is.
mhm.
Here it's like, wow, this doesn't maybe this part of it, it's not really me, but the model is there, right? See, we always think we're going to get in and our business, we get to run it the way we want. Well,
Right.
yeah, but let's
Sort
go
of.
ahead and let's learn the basics. And then, we know that a bicycle is going to turn with two wheels. Well, if we bling out those wheels, or maybe
Right,
you're going to have a punk mortgage wheel,
right,
right?
right.
Whatever style, but there are still those underlying processes and compliance
Yeah,
things that,
you gotta do.
absolutely.
So, we talk about this a lot on the show because I think a lot of realtors don't go into real estate thinking of it as you're starting a business,
They
and then
don't.
they don't run it as a business. Why do you think that's a problem? And how can we help agents going into the industry think that way a lot more going into it, and really processing that before jumping into the deep end?
Do I speak freely here, or do I really?
Do it whatever you want.
See, this is the thing, and I guess most people know I'm going to speak freely, but I think part of it comes down to is if you look at, every time I work with a buyer, I say, hey, look, here's the thing. There's no difference between a realtor and a used car salesman. Just like there's no difference between a lender and a used car salesman.
Mhm.
I'm going to make money when I sell you a property.
Right,
Lender's going to make money when they sell you a loan.
right.
Okay. So what business are brokers in, right? Or team leaders? What business are they in? They're in the agent business.
Mhm.
So it all comes down to it's real easy sometimes for people to bring you in and go, oh, yeah, just get your license because it's going to be the greatest thing. And this is what, I did or whatever, instead of coming in because they want them in the door.
Yeah,
Well,
so you're getting it like there's the industry.
we need to take care of the agents once we get them in the door. We need to arm them with models and systems and tools so that they can be successful,
Mhm.
right? We don't need to bring people in and throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit there and have a coaching conversation or talk with an agent that doesn't even have a car that they can even go to showings on, right? That
yeah,
makes no sense.
yeah,
We have to come in and start having real conversations with people up front to go, look,
yeah.
here's the
It's an
thing.
industry.
It
You're pointing at the industry,
it's changed my
and the problem
life.
is in the industry.
Absolutely. Real estate has changed my life. I mean, the financial thermostat that I have now
Mhm.
versus 10 years ago, 15 years ago, is completely different, Chris.
Right.
I mean, when I'm looking at, hey, I want to try to clear, X amount of dollars, I save all my goals from every year. And I remember my goal in 2013 was to clear $60,000.
Most realtors, I don't think, have a goal.
I have mine from every year. And I'm going to actually post them
I
because
love it.
it's so
That's awesome.
profound.
That's really good.
In 2013, I just wanted to make $60,000 a year.
Yeah. I think when I got into the industry, Tracy, our side of the fence is the same way. it's a throw you in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
And whoever makes it out alive
Right.
makes it out alive.
Well, and here's the
And
thing, right? Let's have real conversations. Let's have exit strategy conversations. Let's have somebody who comes in and they want to try it and all of a sudden they don't realize it. Let's talk about exit strategies. There's
Right.
all things.
Yeah.
My son is a realtor
right.
and, well, actually, he's a salesperson. He's not a realtor because he's licensed still, but he didn't like it. But he's
Mhm.
working LIHTC funds in
But
Kansas
there's
City.
other options. There's other
There's
things
other
that you can do.
tracks.
Yeah.
Let's have a real if we love people,
Yeah.
again, goes back to loving people, taking care of people,
Yeah.
the money will come.
Yeah.
We love people. Let's have real exit strategy conversations. Right now, everyone's
Be transparent.
Yeah.
Like when I can't even do when I bring someone in the door to work with me, I can almost talk them out of it, Tracy. I'm like, look, this is not just, you don't just
Yeah.
start selling homes and start selling mortgages and all of a sudden it just,
Yeah. But that
some
goes
people
back
have that
to
story, but like it's not
Yeah.
most people
Yeah, most people don't.
do not.
And okay, so now once they have done it, have that exit strategy conversation. There's a lot of realtors that aren't going to probably renew their membership. Association dues are due this month,
Right.
right? Why in the world will they have property taxes, association dues, everything due at the same time? Board members, please, let's vote that
You are a business owner. That's why.
Yeah, let's go
And
ahead and
welcome to
have,
life.
let's put a 2026 due. Like if your dues, I mean, think about this. If your 2026 real estate dues, you're paying to do business in 2026, why are you paying them in 2025? Right? So association, let's go ahead and like put that over to January.
Me and you have a lot in common because we want to punk our industries.
Yeah.
I just say it that way.
Just saying. But there again, I'm not on the board. So if you're not going to be on the board, then you don't have
I'm glad you're speaking out because I launched this whole platform, Mortgage Punk, as an education platform.
Mhm.
So that's the goal. Like with this show, with the conferences that we're going to hopefully be rolling out next year, it's all to like bring a lot of light
Mhm.
to the industry to change it and take better care of people. Because we're in the people business. So
And if agents need help and, maybe it's a case that they don't like it, they're not as passionate as I thought they were going to be about it. There's no shame in that game. Let's have a real conversation on how they can exit gracefully out of the business.
I think that's a great idea.
Right?
I'm gonna spotlight one more sponsor, and then I've got one last Christmas movie that I came up with that we got to talk about for a couple minutes, and then we'll lead out with that. But I want to give a huge shout out to Matt and Natalie Inbody of Vortex Air Duct Cleaning Services. So, and I know these people personally, love them to death. They're phenomenal people. Just think about this for a minute. Clean air isn't a luxury. It's a part of a healthy home. From air ducts to dryer vents, Vortex helps Kansas homeowners breathe better, run more efficiently, and avoid problems before they start. They're professional, thorough, and community-driven, and that's 100% the truth about them. So if you care about your home from the inside out, Vortex is who you call. I really push Matt and Natalie's company heavily when it comes to cleaning out your air duct system. So if you are buying a new house or you are selling your house, one of the best things you could do is have your ventilation system sucked out, and you just don't even want to know what is in the air duct system of some of these homes. They've showed me pictures. It's not just, I would just have it done. Like I have it done. Built a brand new home and I have mine done. And I think they sucked out like a 2x4, maybe a few 2x4s.
I can, I have a funny air duct story.
So they are fantastic, but they run a great company, and a big shout out to Matt and Natalie. Love you guys. You're amazing. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Yes.
But you know how yucky that can get. And they bring these big trucks in, so they suck the whole thing. Clean out.
I go, where's the key? I thought I left the key in the door. I'm like, oh my gosh. We were showing a house with a toddler. I thought, okay, the toddler got a hold of it and dropped it down into the vent that was right by the door. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I pull off the grate and I go to reach down in the vent to see if I could get the key. Somebody had busted out the window or whatever, and it was full of glass. And when I put my hand in, it had sliced my finger. Of course, I bring it up. Blood squirts all over the new carpet. Now I'm having to call the listing agent going, I lost the key and I got blood on the carpet. I had to pay to have the carpets cleaned. It was a hot mess.
That's the kind of stuff I'm telling you. I believe it's one of Tracy at every closing. I tell my buyers, I'm like, hey, I don't push a lot of stuff on people, but I'm telling you, like, this is probably something you might highly, highly consider doing because you just don't know what's in there and what's been
Absolutely.
left by the previous one or two or three or who knows how many homeowners. So, okay, one show that me and my wife,
Okay.
I don't know why this has just become like a Christmas tradition, I guess, for the two of us. But like we watched this movie years ago that came out during Christmas season called The Family Man, and it has Nicolas Cage in
Family
the
Man.
movie. Okay, and so now every Christmas Eve, my wife and I watch The Family Man, and we wrap the rest of whatever presents we have left over. So, have you seen this movie, The Family
No.
Man? Okay.
I
Um,
don't think I have. Nicolas
so
Cage.
this is Nicolas Cage. He's in the beginning of the movie, he's at the airport with his fiance. His fiance tells him not to go, and he's going to do an internship with a financial wealth management company, like a broker,
Okay.
to hopefully go to Wall Street. Like that's his dream. And she says, please don't go. I have a bad feeling about this. He says, no, it's just 1 year in London. I'm going to do this internship, and then that's going to pave the way for me to come back here, work on Wall Street. So he leaves, and she's crying. And then he ends up being this big Wall Street investment banker, right? Like a hedge fund manager almost, or private
Okay.
equity fund manager. And so he's extremely wealthy in the movie. Well, he has kind of like an angel type figure make his life flip in reverse back to what would have happened if he didn't get on the plane, and
Gotcha.
he would have ended up being a tire salesman
Okay.
for his father-in-law, and with children with the girl he left at the airport. So he has to figure out his life, and he does not want to be there, and he hates every bit of it, and it
Gotcha.
disgusts him, and so it breaks him down in the movie until he's finally broken and doesn't want to go back to the Wall Street life. He wants to stay in the dream and raise these kids
Yeah.
and be married to his wife, who they've been happily married for. So anyhow, and then at the end of the movie, it flips him back to reality.
Yeah.
So he wakes up in his condo, his big condo high rise at the end of the movie.
And he's
And
probably going to make different choices
none of
after
it's
that.
real. So I thought I would bring that one up because it's a life-changing movie. It's a Christmas movie, and I didn't know if you had seen that one or not. But
No, I haven't, but I'll have to watch it.
I really appreciate you coming on the show, Tracy. I love your story.
Well, thanks for
I
asking me
think you and
too.
I have more in common than you probably ever realized. I'm telling you. And rocket fuel would be one place to start. but I'm so glad you came on the show. I'm glad that you shared some of the. I think that in this episode we would like you to walk away with generosity at the top of your mind,
100%.
and we would want you to walk away with serving people, and then we would want you to walk away with just not dismissing hardships in your life or hard situations or a job that you really don't want to be at, because the job you don't want to be at might be the very catapult or the catalyst
Mhm.
that launches you in to your dream career that you never knew
Yep.
that you were going to have, right?
And somebody will thank you when you go live your dream, so now they can live their dream in the role that you had.
Okay, I
Right?
have to think about that for a minute. That was pretty philosophical.
Yeah.
Tracy, I have to ponder that and let it soak in. But wouldn't you say, what else would you leave listeners with on this episode that you would want them to walk away with?
Excitement and anticipation for 2026. It's
N-
been hard. Guys,
No matter what.
realtors, lenders, we've all had a hard year. Things have been really hard for a lot of folks. The transactions have been hard. People have been more edgy. You know, whether it's people in title or just throughout the entire value stream of our business, right? It's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, it's all behind us now.
How do you what's like one little golden nugget you would leave everyone with on how to get through the tough?
How to get
What do
through
you
the
do? Yeah, how do you get through it, or see hope? Or light at the end of the tunnel, or
It's called
whatever.
control the controllables.
Okay.
And we have to look at what are we just did a SWOT analysis. My husband and I did. It was kind of fun. It was because we hadn't done it like for a long time. But sometimes we just have to go back to basics, right? Sometimes we just have to go look at what can we control and what we can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And we focus on those things that we can control. And that's a very, very small circle. A little bit bigger circle are things that we could influence,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have ways to influence different outcomes, influence where we can. But that big outer circle, we can't control it.
No one can.
Got to let it go, right? Let it go. Let it stay in 2025.
I think that there's I snap screenshots of these, like all these inspirational quotes on Facebook a lot, and I'll bring them out on the show sometimes. And so I snapped one of these psychology facts, and one of them says, "Act busy, even if you're not. It makes you seem in demand." And one thing that I think I've learned in response to what you're saying is that, you can't control, you can say people are lucky. Well, some people are lucky, or Traci, you're lucky. You just, whatever you did, you got lucky and you're doing really well now. I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that Traci was busy, working hard, and finding something to do that she could control. And then the opportunities come, wouldn't you say?
Energy
if you're
breeds
working
energy.
hard,
Energy breeds energy,
the
man.
opportunities will come up. And if you're
They will.
busy doing what you probably should be doing and
Yeah.
working hard, I think opportunities are more real.
But we also have to make sure we don't confuse
the luck
busyness.
factor.
Don't
with,
confuse busyness.
profitable.
Yes.
Profitable busyness. So act busy, profitably busy, even if you're not. It makes you seem in demand. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
Yes. Energy breeds energy. So if you got a house that isn't selling, go put some energy to it.
Do something.
Yeah. Even
Don't
if
just
it's just some sort of energy. Even if it's calling one person and letting them know, hey, did you see my post that I made about this property? Doesn't matter. Energy breeds energy. Do one little thing, because then it domino effects.
I love it. That's what we're going to leave you with. Control what you can control, and be generous and take care of people around you. And you know what? I think you'll do really well. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Traci, thank you for sharing your story. I love it. And I am so glad that you made the suggestion to dress in holiday spirit. So you look great. You definitely have won the award for the episode. I just went and picked this up. I don't think I've ever worn a Santa Claus cap in my life. You got me too.
Well,
So
good.
Thank you, Traci.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you very much.
Doesn't it feel good to wear it?
It does feel good to wear it.
See, there you go.
So listen, thank you everyone for watching this episode of the Mortgage Punk Show. I got Traci with Keller Williams, and she is a rock star. Love her story. Thanks again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like and subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a lot more agents with a lot more energy, right?
Yeah.
Coming out in 2026. So thanks for watching. I'm Chris with Mortgage Punk. See you later. Bye.